Welcome back. 6:43 on Daybreak. And over the past decade or so, Buffalo has seen a tremendous renaissance. But the road to that rebirth was paved with plenty of stops and starts.
Yeah, countless ideas of how to rethink downtown and bring people back. One of those ideas 40 years ago, as we find in this morning's Unknown Story of Western New York, would have put a shopping mall in the heart of Allentown. The backstory of this unusual proposal actually goes back several decades to a struggle for inner cities across America, how to reinvent themselves in the wake of suburban flight.
The struggle since the war was how do you integrate cars with retail districts, and the malls really was the Thruway Plaza when I was a kid was the competition for downtown. Then the Boulevard Mall became the real competition for downtown. So cities were saying, well, let's be like that.
Former Sabres president Larry Quinn was community development commissioner for the city back in the early 80s when Buffalo and a lot of cities were going in the direction of pedestrian malls in urban areas. One that was built in Buffalo was this spot between Main and Pearl, Cathedral Park.
It's largely mall, and there's a single lane of traffic there. And in and of itself, that was pretty successful because it was only 1 block long and there were streets all around it, so it really didn't matter. It was very nice, and people said, oh, this is nice, let's do it everywhere.
But in Allentown, they had an idea for more than just a pedestrian mall, but an actual shopping mall right here, centered around Allen and Franklin.
There was a plan some time ago to take all the buildings across the street and renovate them. They were going to put a bridge across to where the Cycle Works building is now and so forth. So there was those kinds of thinking. Again, how do you get people out of the weather? How do you get them to walk? And, you know, the reality of it is we're Buffalo. We're not afraid of the snow. We do drive cars.
It was an idea they tried elsewhere in the neighborhood. There was a short-lived mall in the old telephone company building at 124 Elmwood.
They gave up the basic urban character of what a city was all about anyway. So it's been a 80-year struggle of how do you integrate cars into cities? And it's not just Buffalo. It's everywhere in the world, really.
A $1.2 million urban development grant was secured for the Allen Street project, but internal disputes and technical issues led to delays, which put the grant in jeopardy, and ultimately the funding was pulled and the project died, which Quinn says in retrospect was probably not a bad thing.
It wasn't a Buffalo solution. It was sort of borrowing from someplace else.